Okay, now, there are a couple of different ways to do long division of polynomials depending upon the type of polynomials you're dividing. Yesterday in 5.5, we learned about dividing monomials. To divide a polynomial by a monomial, single term, divide each term of the polynomial by the monomial. This is what we did, as I said, in 5.5. Okay, process 2. When dividing this time now we're talking about a binomial or a polynomial, something with more than one term. Use long division. Okay, so we're going to go over this. It's been a while, I am sure, since you learned long division. So what we're going to do is review this by doing it with numbers first. This is so that you can remember the processes. All right, so to do this, we take 3, we divide it into 745. All right, so we ask ourselves, what does 3 need in order to become a 7? It needs another 3. It won't become a 7, but it'll be close. Not a 3. Another 3, which means times 2. Apologies. So, 3 times 2 is 6. Okay, and now we subtract. And that leaves us with 1. We bring down the 4. We ask ourselves, 3 times what will be close to 14? The answer is 4, because that gives us 12. So we put a 4 up here. We multiply the 4 times the 3, and then we put 12 here. Again, we subtract it. We get 2. We bring down the 5. And 3 times what would be something less than 25 is 8. That gives us 24, so 8 times 3 is 24. We subtract, we have 1. Our remainder is 1. Okay, this is what we did before. So now we're going to look at what we do with a polynomial. I'm going to erase this bottom stuff just because it's going to be in my way. There we go. We don't want it to get in our way. All right. So now I have x minus 3 on the outside, dividing it into x squared minus 8x plus 15. So, what does x need to become x squared? It needs an x, so I put an x. Actually, let me do that in a different color. I put an x on top for my answer. All right, I multiply x times x, and I get x squared. X times minus 3 is a minus 3x. So what I've just done is taken x times x minus 3. I have to multiply by both terms of this binomial. All right, now I'm going to subtract this. But remember, you're subtracting the whole thing. So while I subtract the x squared and it goes to 0, the minus 3x becomes a plus 3x. So now we are adding 3 to the negative 8. That's going to give us a negative 5x. We bring down the 15, and we start over again. What do I multiply x by to get minus 5x? Minus 5. Minus 5. And I do it. Minus 5 times x. So I have x minus 5. Minus 5 times x plus 25. I subtract that. These go away. I turn my 25 into a negative 25, and I have as my answer negative 10. So this then is my remainder, negative 10. Now we check this by multiplying it out. You know what? I apologize. Knew there was something wrong with this. This did not come out to be 25 because this is not 5. This is supposed to be a 3. I apologize if I confused everybody. 3. 3 times 5 is 15, so now I have basically a negative 5, so I have no remainder. Okay, so actually I have a 0 remainder. Now to check this, I'm going to take the x minus 5 answer, multiply it times the x minus 3 divisor, and that should give me back my answer, my original trinomial. Okay, so I have x minus 3 times x minus 5. I get x squared minus 5x minus 3x plus 15. All right, so I put these two together to simplify it. I get x squared minus 8x plus 15. And sure enough, this answer matches that answer. So this is indeed the accurate answer. All right, we're going to look at the next one. Practice dividing x squared plus 4x minus 21 by x minus 3. Okay, so x minus 3 into x squared plus 4x minus 21. X needs another x to get an x squared. So I have x times x is x squared. So I do the math. I'm going to do x I'm going to do x times x minus 3. So x times x is x squared. Minus 3 times x is minus 3x. And now I'm going to subtract this. So that becomes a plus. The x squareds cancel out. I have 4x minus 3x, which leaves me with just x. I bring down the negative 21. What does x need to get x? It just needs a 1. Positive 1. So I multiply 1 times x minus 3. I get x minus 3. When I subtract this, that becomes a positive 3. So I end up with a negative 18 as my r. All right, now we're going to check this. X minus 3 times x plus 1. And then we add our remainder. So I'm adding a negative 18. Okay, x times x is x squared. I have plus 1x minus 3x, and then minus 3. All right, and then I subtract the 18. So I'm going to put these terms together and these terms together. So I have x squared plus x minus 3 is minus 2x. Wow, somewhere I got way the heck off. Because that should be a plus 4x, not a minus. That would be a plus x there. Maybe it wasn't a... Okay. Does everybody see that? The 2x is wrong. So we've got to figure out where we went wrong. Get a plus 4x. When I multiplied it by x, I got a minus 3x. But that becomes a plus x, so I should have had 7x. My mistake. Okay. I'm going to take all of this huge amount back. And, all right, we got rid of our check now. And now we got to take, okay, nope. And, okay, I can stop there. I'm going to go back, and this is now a 7x. You're probably screaming at the screen as I blindly moved on. All right, so now this is going to need a plus 7. So I'm going to take 7 times the x minus 3, and that's going to give me 7x minus 21. So no remainder. So we're going to try this out now. We're going to try x minus 3 times x plus 7. And that should give us x squared, 7x, minus 3x, minus 21. So this should be, now we've got the minus 21, yay! X squared plus 4x minus 21. And sure enough, notice that is indeed what I have. X squared plus 4x minus 21. X squared plus 4x minus 21. Check. Whee! All right. We're going to go. Well, that's right. I forgot. I changed sheets differently here. There we are. All right. All right. So now we're going to okay. Let's do a darker color. X minus 4 x squared minus 7x plus 21. Okay, I need x times x is x squared. X times minus 4 is minus 4x. Subtract this, which means the x squareds are going to go away, and I end up adding the 4x. So minus 7x and 4x is minus 3x. Bring down the 21. Okay. Okay, so now we do it again. Minus 3 times x is minus 3x. Minus 3 times minus 4 is a plus 12. Okay. That's right. Okay, now I'm going to subtract this section. The 3x's go away. I end up with that becomes minus 12. So I end up with negative 11. No. Negative 9. And that is my leftover, my remainder. Okay, so we're going to check. And I'm going to add that -9. Okay, so x squared minus 4x minus 3x plus 12. Done this before, drives me crazy. All right. Did I make another mistake? So that's 12 before I minus the 9, and I wanted 12 as my answer. So, oh, it wasn't 12. It was, okay. Let's see. Let me see. All right. This, you probably can't see what I was doing. I erased the 21 because it's not supposed to be 21. It's supposed to be 12. So that should have been 12. So now I have to erase the other 21 here. For some reason, it doesn't want to erase that. Okay, there it went. So hopefully you noticed this is what I erased again. So that should have been a 12. And I'm subtracting 12, so we'll actually end up again with a 0 denominator. Zero remainder. I apologize for that. Okay, so that means hopefully you're starting to learn how to watch for errors. Okay, boy, must be late in the day for me. All right, so we end up with x x squared minus 7x plus 12, which is indeed what we wanted it to be. Okay. Sorry, that should have been a different color. Oops, this is not in order. It's important that you write these out in standard order, which means my 4x squared should be first. Now my x term. And now my constant. Okay. 2x times 2x is going to give me 4x squared. So I have a 2x up here. That makes 4x squared. 2x times 5 is a plus 10x. But now remember, we're subtracting that. So though the 4x squareds go away, my x term turns into a plus, not 8. No, minus 10. So it's a minus 12x. I bring down the 7. 2x needs a minus 6 to become negative 12x. Minus 6 times 5 is minus 30. The 12x's go away. 7 and negative 30 is negative 23. So 2x plus 5 times 2x minus 6. I get 4x squared. Check. I get minus 12x plus 10x, which is going to eventually lead me to negative 2x. So that's this one. Check. All right. And then I have 5 times minus 6, which is minus 30. Remember, I have to add my remainder. Hang on. Okay, let's double check this remainder. We didn't do that correctly. I subtract this, which means I end up with 7 plus 30. Right? 7 by subtract. And so that's 37. My remainder is 37. So this minus 30, I have to add 37, so that's going to give me the plus 7. So I've got 4x squared minus 2x plus 7, which is indeed what I started with. Okay, now we're doing our x plus 6, x squared plus 4x minus 14. Change color so it doesn't get confusing. Like it's not already. All right. I need x. That gives me x squared plus 6x. I subtract it, which means I get a negative 2x minus 14. All right, so I need a minus 2. Minus 2x minus 12. But now I'm subtracting, so the 2x goes away. The 12, becomes a plus. So I end up with a minus 2 as my remainder. X plus 6. Okay, x plus 6 I said, and times x minus 2. I get x squared minus 2x plus 6x minus 12. Don't forget you have to add in the negative 2. So this is going to be x squared plus 4x minus 14. And sure enough, that is indeed what our answer should be. Okay. Moving on. We have 5x. Sorry. This is not in the correct order. So we're going to need to rewrite it. We have 3x plus 6. And we have 6x squared plus 3x minus 9. You need to have every x term represented. I'm going to make this a little taller. Okay, so square root. There we go. All right, we need to have every x represented. X squared, x, and then no x. This has to be in order and represented. So 3x requires a 2x to become 6x squared. 2x times 6 is 12x, so I have a plus 12x. I'm going to divide those. The 6x, not divide, subtract. The two 6x squareds go away. I have 3x minus 12x, which is minus 9x. I bring down my negative 9. Okay. Now I need a minus 9, and I'm going to have No, I don't need a minus 9. I apologize. I need a minus 3 because minus 3 times 3x gives me negative 9x. Minus 3 times 6 gives me a minus 18. When I subtract this, the 18 becomes positive, and I've got a positive 9. That's my remainder. So now I'm going to check this. 3x plus 6 times 3x, nope, times 2x minus 3, because that's my answer. Don't forget you have to add the 9. So I've got 6x squared, and then I have a minus 9x and a plus 12x. So that's going to give me 3x. And then I have a minus 18 plus 9. So that's going to give me a minus 9. And sure enough, that is indeed what I was supposed to come up with. 6x squared plus 3x minus 9. So my answer is 2x minus 3. All right, now I have 8y cubed. All right, so it's a much bigger one now. Let me try to write smaller. Okay. So I have 4y plus 3, and that is into 8y cubed minus 22y squared minus 5y plus 12. Okay, so 4y to get 8y cubed needs a 2y squared. 2y times squared times 4y is 8y cubed. 2y squared times 3 is 6y squared. All right, now I'm going to subtract this. The 8y cubes go out. The 6 becomes a negative 6. I now have negative 28y squared. I bring down the minus 5y. Minus 28y squared needs a negative 7y. Minus 7y. I multiply that out. I get a negative 28y squared and a negative 21y. When I subtract these, the 28y squared goes away and the 21y becomes positive. So now I have 16y and I bring down the 12. I need a positive 16. No, positive 4. 4 times 4y is 16y. 4 times 3 is 12. Well, those are identical. So when I subtract, I'm going to get a 0. Yay. Okay, to verify this, we have 4y plus 3 times 2y squared minus 7y plus 4. So 4y times 2y squared gives me 8y cubed. 4y times a negative 7 is a negative 28y. 4y times a positive 4 gives me a plus 16. Oops, this was y squared. 16y. All right, now I do the 3. 3 times 2y squared gives me 6y squared. Times the negative 7 gives me negative 21y. Times the 4 gives me plus 12. Now when I add these all up, I should have my answer. 8y cubed, check. minus 22y squared. 28 minus 6 is 22. Check. 16y minus 21y gives me minus 5y. Check. Plus 12. Check. Okay. Whoops. I forgot. Sorry. Oh, I just think I added a page again. This whole thing, I end up with 7 plus 30. Okay. And this is x cubed, but there's no x squared. So I need a 0 there because I have to have a placeholder. You have to have a 0 anywhere you're missing a term. So that's 0x squared plus 6x minus 9. Okay, so I need an x squared to get x cubed minus 3x squared. When I subtract this, the x cubed goes away, and my negative 3x squared becomes a positive 3x squared, so I have 3x squared. Now I bring down the plus 6x. I need a 3x to get me 3x squared. 3x times minus 3 is minus 9x. I subtract this, the 3x squareds go away. The negative 9x turns to a plus, and I have 9 and 6, which is 15x. And I bring down the minus 9. Now, to get x to be 15x minus 9, I need 5. So, I need 15, 15. So, 15x minus 45. Yes, I was just checking my numbers. This is going to leave me, when I subtract, the x's fall out. I have negative 9 plus 45, which means I'm going to have 36. So we're going to check this real quick. X minus 3 times x squared plus 3x plus 15 plus 36. All right, so I have x cubed, 3x squared, plus 15x. And then I have minus 3x squared. Notice those are going to drop out now, which is what I wanted because my original didn't have an x squared. I have a minus 9x and a minus 45, but I have to add 36. So I have x cubed, no x squared. I have plus 6x, and negative 45 and positive 36 is a minus 9. And sure enough, that is now matching. All right, and we're done with that one. Okay, we only have 3 problems left. That's what I was checking. All right. Four x cubed plus 0x squared minus 5x plus 0. Everything has to be represented, so this one's going to get 2 zeros. All right. I get 2x squared to get 4x cubed. 2x squared times minus 1 is a negative 2x squared. All right, when I subtract this, the 4x cubed goes away. The negative 2x squared turns to a positive. I'm adding it to 0, so it's just 2x squared. And I bring down the minus 5x. Now I need just a plain old x. So I have 2x squared plus x. And I'm going to multiply that, and I get 2x squared minus x. When I subtract this, the 2x squared goes away, and I have a negative 6x. So I need a negative 3. I bring down the 0 to get a 6x, a minus 6x plus 3. So I have a remainder of 3. Okay, so I'm not going to go through the check. I'm sure you're going crazy with the amount of time it's taking. So let's just move on to number 9. This was a long lesson. All right. I have x squared minus 2. And I have 3x to the 5 minus x cubed plus 4x squared minus 12x minus 8. So all numbers here are being represented. I have 5. Oh, nope. I have a 0 for 4. Okay, so I'm going to erase that. Okay. Plus 0, x to the 4th minus x cubed plus 4x squared minus 12x minus 8. All right. 3x cubed. That's what I need in order to turn the x squared into x to the 5th. So I have 3x to the 5th times minus 2 gives me a minus 6x cubed. So I have to line that up. Minus 6x cubed. It's lined up. Now when I subtract this, the x to the 5ths go away. I still have a 0x to the 4th. I now have a negative, turns that into a positive, so I have a plus 5x cubed. Now, x squared needs a 5x. Okay. I'm going to erase parts of this because it's just going to, and it's not going to let me. It's okay. We'll work around it. Okay, and I'm going to bring down the 4x squared minus 12x minus 8 so you can see them. I'm also going to highlight my answers so far. Okay, so now I need 5x, right? So I've got 5x cubed minus 10x. So the 4x squared comes down. I have a minus, these go away, and I'm subtracting the 10, so it becomes plus 10. So it's minus 2x minus 8. Now, I can still do something with the 4x squared. So I multiply x squared minus 2 by 4x. I'm going to write it over here so we know what our answer is. That's what we're at right now. 4x squared minus 8x. Oh, there's no 8x. Minus 8. There we go. So I can do this. All right. These both cross out. I'm left with a remainder of minus 2x. Okay, so my remainder is negative 2x. All right, we're down to the last one. Hanging in there. You can do this. Okay. All right. X squared to give me x to the fourth plus 2x squared. I'm left with minus x cubed minus a 2x squared. So now I just have plus x squared minus 2x. I need a minus x. Plus 2 times minus x is minus 2x. These actually cancel out. I'm left with x squared plus 2, which is exactly what I have. So I just need a 1 to get x squared plus 2. So it's going to be 0 when I subtract it. Okay, so my answer on this one is x squared minus x plus 1. And we're done.